This is actually something I completely overlooked earlier this month. Black Desert Online's new large expansion. I'd gone to sleep before the Black Desert stream, so imagine my surprise waking up Saturday morning, ready to post the weekend news video and seeing hundreds of messages on Discord, Twitter, and YouTube saying, "Did you see the new BDO update?" Curious, I replied to a few of them and then went ahead and Googled Black Desert to see exactly what update they were all referring to. Apparently, it was large enough that it warranted hundreds of messages, so my interest was piqued. There's a lot to cover, so let's just jump right in. Pearl Abyss have announced the newest expansion to Black Desert Online, the Great Expedition. The expansion brings with it what could be the largest cumulative total of updates ever included in its history to date, in my opinion anyway. This video is going to cover both the expansion content and future content going forward. Not everything here is going to launch at the same time, just be aware of this going in. First is the update to buffs. They have plans on reworking them all together, reducing the cooldown on foods while simultaneously improving both meals and elixirs so you won't be required to use as many items. Next is a small quality of life change that honestly always irked me a little in game, and that is player to NPC interaction. Their goal? Remove the need to dismount to actually interact with NPCs. I don't know why this took such a long time to get around to fixing, but it's a quality of life change that I desperately need. They then went on to touch on upgrading and enhancing. While they agree that the method with which we go about enhancing with is definitely flawed, they did want to assure players that when you played other games in the past and you got frustrated, you enjoyed them still. So, you know, while it's an imperfect system, other than some small tweaks that they plan on making, they don't really want to do away with how you go about enhancing currently. Because, you know, down the line, you'll look back at this and be like, oh man, in retrospect, I enjoyed enhancing in Black Desert. Then was class balance. I don't play BDO actively enough to know which class is most powerful during what time, but they touched on how they actively listen to the player base and their concerns, buffing and nerfing accordingly. Which admittedly is a little difficult to believe considering I've never seen a developer or publisher in the history of, like, any MMO ever buff or nerf classes at the whim of the community. Territory wars are currently being put on hold even after the major framework for territory wars was for the most part complete. This is because they want to make adjustments to the conquest wars and node wars. Currently though, everything is under development and has an undisclosed release window. They made some small tweaks to things like life skills, buffing the AP of rare monsters to make encounters more difficult for players, a rework of Polly's Forest because according to Pearl Abyss it has long since been avoided, a rework for Ash Forest to add to the available list of areas you can grind, a large undisclosed rework of the Conquest War feature to accommodate the decrease in guilds, an improved UI, and most importantly, yes, this is a part you've all been waiting for, the new class, the Shai. The Shai is bringing a brand new combat type into Black Desert, a support class. Every class up until this point has been able to self-sustain, tank, heal, and DPS all in one. However, the Shai class is none of the above, instead falling back onto the healer support archetype prevalent in most MMOs. This is probably the most interesting addition to the game I've seen yet, as this could mean in the future we get more dedicated tanking and healing roles to fill out people's want for varied class types. The Shai utilize giant boomerangs to fight that are roughly the size of their entire body. Think a generic LOLI warrior in like every fantasy anime series ever. Interestingly though, they're capable of revealing stealth enemies in the immediate area while offering allies the ability to heal them. So yeah, we're actually getting a dedicated healer. They also begin with a professional level in both Gathering and Alchemy, giving them an advantage over other classes. According to Pearl Abyss, the class is not built for combat, the Shai class itself being fairly weak. However, they also state that it doesn't fall far behind in terms of DPS, which is, I guess, a contradictory statement made in the same sentence. Like, how can a class be both very weak, but simultaneously not much weaker than the other classes? I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. The Shai are perhaps the most adorable thing I've seen in game yet, and admittedly, I was wondering how long Black Desert could go without pandering to the people infatuated with lolis. With Terra on the brink of collapse, why not encapsulate what players loved about it? You know, the Ellen. Thankfully, the Shai aren't going to be OPs, so at least we won't be overrun by them. While the Shai will be available to create and test on the test servers from the 12th, no confirmed release date has been given for when they or most of this content will hit the live servers. Pearl Abyss stated that regardless of whether or not the Shai are popular, they have plans of releasing a brand new type of class every single year as opposed to the same cookie cutter classes we've gotten thus far. Several other classes are already under development based off of in-game races like the Demi-Beast, the Rudum, Fodis, Dwarves, and more, so if new classes are your thing and you're sick of normal humans, get ready. Then the Great Expedition will take you back onto the ocean with remodelable ships, the ability to hire a crew, and sailing the seas, conquering the ocean, and plundering new islands that they plan on adding. New islands that will feature custom unique content, themes, and story and NPCs. Seriously though, there was just so much included in this stream and future updates that I cannot cover it all in one video. I'm not an active Black Desert player. I have a few late level 50 characters. I play the new classes when they launch purely because I'm curious what they're like. I have fun running around killing things and enjoying what the game has to offer, but then I stop shortly after I run out of things to do. Seeing so much added is definitely reassuring for existing players, and whether or not Pearl Abyss deliver on what they've promised remains to be seen, but I am excited. Are you guys excited, or could you care less? At the very least though, you have to admit that the new Shai class is absolutely adorable. Anyway guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
Dance, take it, chill, yeah, pick your pace. I'm just hanging with my friends. Oh hey, get your groove on, make it sway. Do your thing, boy, it's okay. I think we'll be more than friends.